Welcome, everyone, and a huge thank you to the Executive Board for joining me today for this explainer. What we're looking at is a truly critical, high-stakes professional development initiative tailored specifically for your teams. You know, we're constantly searching for the edge, right? That definitive strategy to accelerate early career professionals into capable, visionary leaders. Well, today, we aren't talking about a flashy new software tool, and we definitely aren't pitching a costly seminar. We're talking about fundamentally upgrading how our teams process information and make decisions. We're talking about the Reading Edge.
Okay, let's dive into this. Let's be honest about the environment our workforce operates in right now. We exist in a completely screen-dominated world. Digital scrolling gives us this quick information that's literally built for scattered attention. It's essentially the fast food of information consumption. You know, it fills you up quickly, but it doesn't really provide any lasting value. Now contrast that with the pages of a book. Reading requires deep focus and committed attention. It's like a nourishing, home-cooked meal. It forces the brain to slow down, to focus, and to actually think. And in today's rapid-fire corporate environment, I'll tell you, that level of deep processing is becoming dangerously rare.
So here's our strategic roadmap for this meeting. We'll cover the attention economy crisis, reading as a competitive edge, building critical leadership skills, the 20-minute daily strategy, and finally, the long-term career impact. This roadmap is going to show you exactly how this initiative solves our most pressing market vulnerabilities.
Starting with Section 1, the attention economy crisis.
Every single day, your early career professionals are stepping into an absolute battlefield of attention. There's this constant chaos of screens fighting for their bandwidth. We're talking social media scrolls, rapid-fire short videos, and just endless notifications pinging away on their devices. Frankly, it's a miracle anyone gets any deep work done at all. These digital distractions are actively fragmenting the attention spans of your teams. They literally train the brain to abandon a thought the exact moment something flashier appears. And you simply cannot build a strategic, long-term corporate vision on a foundation of fragmented attention.
Which brings us to a fundamental truth. Focus is power. In a world where everyone is just skipping around from distraction to distraction, the rare ability to commit to an idea from start to finish, that isn't just nice to have, it is a true superpower. When you read a book, you commit. There's no swiping away. Building this attention span is absolutely the first step to reclaiming our workforce's cognitive power.
Moving on to Section 2, reading as a competitive edge. So why reading specifically? Because the professional advantages are direct, they're measurable, and they give us an aggressive market advantage. Books offer structured industry insights that put your teams way ahead of the curve. And as they read, they refine their vocabulary and expression, which directly boosts the clear communication skills required to close deals and lead teams. In a rapidly changing job market, this is exactly how ambitious professionals outpaced peers who basically stopped learning on graduation day.
Our source material sums this up brilliantly with a single quote. Knowledge builds confidence. You don't feel lost, you feel prepared. When your employees read regularly, they build up a really robust internal database. They become equipped to speak intelligently on global issues, business trends, and even psychology. They walk into client meetings and high-stakes boardroom negotiations not feeling lost, but deeply, deeply prepared.
Now for Section 3, building critical leadership skills.
You know, the most valuable asset an executive has is critical thinking, period. That means the ability to stop accepting information blindly, to challenge opinions, and to question beliefs. Reading actively forces leaders out of their comfortable little echo chambers. It presents them with viewpoints and scenarios they would never encounter in their daily routines, which, by the way, is exactly how genuine professional growth happens.
This translates directly into a real-world daily operational workflow. Analyze, reflect, and decide. Instead of reacting impulsively to, say, a stressful client email or some sudden market shift, an employee who reads has literally trained their brain to execute this specific workflow. They pause to analyze the incoming data, they reflect on strategic precedents they read about, and then they make a calculated decision. This is how you transform a reactive employee into a strategic operator on daily tasks.
And of course, different reading materials serve distinct leadership functions. On one hand, you have business biographies, which act like a pocket mentor. I mean, why make an expensive strategic error when you can just read about someone else making it first, right? On the other hand, fiction novels allow a leader to step outside themselves, to live inside someone else's life, and to understand their fears and dreams. This deeply enhances emotional intelligence and empathy, which are absolutely critical traits for managing large, diverse teams.
Section 4,
the 20-minute daily strategy.
Now, I already know the immediate boardroom pushback we're going to get here. Our teams are too busy. There just isn't enough time. But the magic number is simply 20. We are absolutely not asking your teams to find magical extra hours in the day. We're firmly suggesting that replacing just 20 minutes of digital scrolling with reading each day is all it takes. 20 to 30 minutes daily is more than enough to train the brain to concentrate longer. The time exists. It's our priorities that decide how we use it.
And this habit is entirely flexible for literally any busy executive or early career schedule. Morning reading energizes the brain and sets a highly productive tone for the workday. Alternatively, night reading is incredibly effective for relaxing the mind, slowing the heart rate, and shifting the brain from workplace stress to a story. The best time is simply the time that fits their routine.
To roll this out effectively, here is some really actionable implementation tactics for your teams. First, don't set some crazy goal of 50 books a year right out of the gate. Start with just 10 pages a day. Second, choose exciting topics rather than forcing boring books. If they hate what they're reading, they will 100% quit. And third, track progress to maintain motivation. Remember, when launching this professional development strategy, consistency always beats intensity.
And finally, Section 5, the long-term career impact.
So, the crucial point is this. Reading is not merely a hobby. It's a long-term investment where knowledge actually compounds. Just like compound interest in a financial portfolio. The insights, the vocabulary, and the strategic thinking gained from one book build directly upon the next. Over years, this creates an unassailable intellectual advantage.
To put that massive compounding effect into perspective, let's look at this number, 100. If an employee reads just 10 books a year, which is a totally achievable goal with 20 minutes a day, that equates to 100 books over a decade. Imagine an ambitious professional who has absorbed 100 books worth of insights, strategies, and wisdom over the first 10 years of their career compared to someone who hasn't. The difference in their leadership capability isn't just noticeable, it is literally staggering.
In a world completely defined by noise, distraction, and fragmented attention, books offer our teams clarity, focus, and a profound competitive edge. The strategy is clear, the implementation is incredibly simple, and the long-term ROI is undeniable. So the real question for you, the executive board, and for the teams you lead is, when will you start? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today.